All right, fourth graders, this is your math work for today on assessments. It's Module 4, Lesson 8 problem set. I hope you watch the Zern video because you'll need that to be able to do this. Number 1 says, Joe, Steve, and Bob stood in the middle of the yard and faced the house. Joe turned 90 degrees to the right. Steve turned 180 degrees to the right. Bob turned 270 degrees to the right. Name the object that each boy is now facing. All right, so let's think about this. We're looking at, and we're turning in a circle. We break the circle into 4 quadrants. Each quadrant is 90 degrees. So if I turn one quadrant, it's 90 degrees. This is another 90 degrees. So 90 plus 90 would be 180. So if I start here and I land here, that's 90 degrees. If I turn again, that's 180 degrees. And remember, each quadrant is another 90. So 180 plus 90 is 270 degrees. And then if you turn all the way around, you turn 360 degrees. All right, so it says Joe turned 90 degrees. So if Joe was standing here in the middle, looking at the house, and he turned 90 degrees, he turned one quadrant. So now he is facing the fence. So I'll just put fence here, and you could probably use this on another piece of paper. Steve is standing and facing the house, and he turned 180 degrees. So he went one quadrant, 2 quadrants. So now he is facing the tree. And Bob turned 270 degrees. So Bob was facing the house and he turned to 270. So he went 1 quadrant, 2 quadrant, 3 quadrant. So he is facing the barn. What is the solution to the problem circled in red? So they want to know, what is this answer? And it was fence. So we'll click fence and hit submit, and we got it correct. And we'll go to the next problem. All right. We already answered these in the first one since we wrote there. So we know that Steve was facing the tree. And the answer circled in red was tree. So we'll click tree. Submit answer, correct. And it's the same thing. And we already knew that Bob was facing the barn because he turned 270. So I could put barn here. And click barn and submit. All right, and so this is a new set of problems. Monique looked at the clock at the beginning of class and at the end of class. How many degrees did the minute hand turn from the beginning of class until the end? This is the minute hand. So the hour hand points at 11, the minute hand points at 12, which is 11 o'clock. And then still almost at 12, it's 11:45. So thinking about each quadrant is 90 degrees. So if I broke this like that, and the hand was here, but now it's here, and we know that clocks turn to the right, they go clockwise. It went 1 quadrant, 2 quadrants, 3 quadrants. So it was 90 degrees, then 180 degrees, then 270, and then 360. So since he started here and went 3 quadrants to 11:45, she turned 270 degrees. And that's correct. And we'll move on to the next one. The skater jumped in the air and did a 360. What does that mean? That might be something you already know, but if we're thinking about that and you start here, that's 90, 180, 270, 360. So if you are standing here on your skateboard and you jump and do a 360, that means you went all the way around in a circle. If the skater jumped in the air and did a 360, That means he turned all the way around in a circle. Remember, you can pause the video to copy the sentence so you can go back and put it in. And then we're just going to submit. It won't tell you if you get it right or wrong. You just have to click next problem. Mr. Martin drove away from his house without his wallet. He did a 180. Where is he heading now? Okay, let's think about that. Start here. At his house, and he was going to the store. This is 90 degrees. This is 180. He's driving, going this way, and he realizes he forgets his wallet. So he does a 180, which means he turns around and goes right back home to get his wallet. Mr. Martin is now heading back home to get his wallet. All right, and we can hit submit. And it won't tell you if you got it right or wrong. You're just going to go to the next problem. John turned the knob in the shower 270 degrees to the right. Draw a picture showing the position of the knob. All right, so although it won't record your answer here, you can still practice. Remember, if we're going 270 degrees, that means we have to go around 3 quadrants. So the knob will be pointing that way. And so you can say, yes, I drew the knob position. Let me go to the next one. Barb used her scissors to cut out a coupon from the newspaper. How many quarter turns does she need to turn the paper in order to stay on the lines? All right, so she starts here and she's going to turn. That's 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. So she's going to have to turn it 4 times. And that's correct. How many quarter turns does this picture need to be rotated in order for it to be upright? Remember, quarter turns is 90 degrees. It's each quadrant. And so it depends on which way we want to turn this picture. But if the dog's head is facing this way and it needs to go up, we could turn it counterclockwise 1 time, which is 90 degrees, to make it upright. Or we would have to turn it 3 times to the right to make it 270 degrees. And so we could type in here, I can turn the picture 90 degrees to the left to make it upright, or I could turn the picture 270 degrees to the right to make it upright. That's it. And then I'll submit and I can hit next problem. And I believe this is the last one. Meredith faced north. She turned 90 degrees to the right and then 180 degrees more. Which direction is she now facing? All right, so remember this would be 90 degrees. And if she goes again, that would be 180 degrees. And then this would be 270 degrees. And if she goes all the way around, that's a 360. And so Meredith is facing north, so she's standing here, and she turns 90 degrees to the right, so now she's facing east. And then she turns 180 more. That doesn't mean land on 180. 180 would be 2 quadrants, because it would be 90 plus another 90, right? Because this is a 90, and this is a 90. Each quadrant is 90, and 90 plus 90 equals 180. So if she goes 180, she's going to go 2 times, 1, 2, and now she'll be facing west. And that's correct. And we hit finish assignment, and then you can close the window. Good luck.